The long-kept secret of Jana Duggar recently took a tragic turn. According to reports, her newborn is in severe condition, and her husband, Stephen Wisman, has started crying. There is a crisis in the Dugg family. Why are fans clamoring for answers, and what actually transpired in the delivery room? You can't ignore this heartwarming tale. As we reveal every devastating detail, stay tuned. The Duggar family was getting ready to welcome a new blessing when they were hit by a devastating tragedy. According to shocking claims, Jana, Stephen Wisman, Duggar's husband, is devastated by the news that their newborn child is in severe condition. What ought to have been one of their most joyful days has devolved into a crisis involving tears, anxiety, and unresolved questions. For months, there were reports that the oldest Duggar daughter and renowned recluse Jana Duggar had secretly wed Stephen Wisman and was expecting her first child. The couple chose to avoid the spotlight and never made any public announcements about their wedding or pregnancy, amidst the ongoing disputes among the family. However, a medical emergency concerning their newborn daughter has abruptly disrupted their seclusion, rather than a happy announcement. A close family source claims that the baby had problems right away after birth and was taken to the neonatal critical care unit in a matter of minutes. According to sources, Jana gave birth at a private birthing facility. However, when the infant started exhibiting symptoms of discomfort, doctors decided to move both mother and child to a local medical facility. According to reports, doctors are keeping an eye on many critical health issues, such as uneven breathing, low oxygen levels, and possible neurological consequences. According to a family source, Jana is making every effort to maintain her strength. But the one who is really broken is Stephen. Since they brought the baby in, he has not left the hospital. Normally calm and reserved, Stephen Wisman was spotted crying as he left the NICU. According to family friends, he is totally destroyed and that the event has affected him emotionally. According to reports, Stephen wrote in a private message to close friends, "Nothing prepares you for watching your newborn fight to breathe. I've never prayed harder in my life." Although many Duggar family members have not commented on social media, sources confirm that Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar are by Jana's side, with multiple siblings traveling in to support the couple during this trying time. On her Instagram story, Joanna Duggar allegedly said, "When you're in the fire, keep walking. God walks with you." Fans think this was a clear allusion to Jana's present predicament. In the meantime, fan prayers have taken over the internet, with hashtags like #Wismanab and #PrayerForge showing up on social media. Despite previous disputes, the Duggar fan community is supporting Jana during what could be the most trying time in her life, although no formal declaration has been. According to insider information made public by the Duggar Wisman families, the infant's condition is still delicate but stable. To ascertain the origin of the troubles and whether long-term health problems are anticipated, doctors are allegedly conducting a number of tests. Given that this was Jana's first child, fans are devastated. Additionally, the birth followed years of conjecture on her future marriage and motherhood. The silent pillar of the family has always been Jana Duggar. Recognized. She put her own goals on hold for years to help raise her younger siblings because of her altruistic caregiving and nurturing nature. Fans are expressing a great deal of compassion for her unexpected difficulties as she deals with her own parenthood problem. Supporters are asking the public to be kind, private, and prayerful as they help Jana and Stephen get through this emotional roller coaster. Following her marriage to Stephen Wisman and his family's vacation to Hawkeye State, the 19 kids and counting star, she gave a behind-the-scenes peek at the camping excursion during their honeymoon last October. Jana started the March 19th YouTube vlog by saying, "It's actually kind of cute," as she described the trailer with brown accents that her husband had purchased for their trip. Following a tour of their vacation home, the 35-year-old disclosed that they were going to Old Threshes, an annual fall festival in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, to watch Stephen and his brother sing a few songs. Everything seems to be working. However, that wasn't the only exciting aspect of the journey, as Jana disclosed that some of her relatives shocked her by joining her. The couple, who were married in August of last year, took in the festival's landscape after Stephen's rustic performance. They sampled pickles and watched some vintage tractors light up in a traditional fireworks display before heading back to their camper for a warm bonfire. The next day, Stephen did another solo act before the whole Wisman family took the stage for an acoustic performance. My spouse is capable of. Tell you that my favorite part of Old Threshes is the food, Stephen, 31, said as he held John's hand, adding that they chose to go to the festival 2 weeks after getting married in Arkansas. This is her first year at the festival, she's still learning. Although this was their first trip together as a married couple, the Counting On star has previously shared a sweet relationship milestone. Jana revealed that she and Stephen moved to Nebraska almost 2 months after their wedding, which she said, "I know my life is about to change in many ways, moving more to the city life," the oldest of the Duggar family's 19 children stated in her YouTube video at the time, describing it as a significant shift from her rural upbringing in Arkansas. "I am so excited for what lays ahead, but I am sure that I'll have moments when I miss the farm." To view the complete Duggar family tree, continue reading. Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar, who are parents to 19 children and grandparents to more than 3 dozen young children, began as Michelle, a high school sweetheart, remembers being saved at the age of 15. One evening, while on a home outreach visit for his Baptist church, Jim Bob knocked on the door of the Rohr family after his friend informed him that a cheerleader and recently saved girl from school lived there. They invited Michelle to Sunday school at their church, and Jim Bob claimed to have prayed to God that they could be each other's spiritual leaders. However, their first encounter wasn't as Michelle recalled in a letter posted on the family blog in 2017 for Jim Bob's birthday and their 33rd wedding anniversary. "You were shy but very sweet." Michelle applied for a job at Jim Bob's parents' frozen yogurt shop a year later. "And you came to the counter where I was standing by the cash register and introduced yourself. I really don't remember much about that conversation, except that you finally mustered the courage to ask me if I would go to your junior-senior year banquet with you." She went to the dinner with him at Shiloh Christian, but she discovered that we were bonded when they spent hours together at her parents' house talking about the Bible. Michelle has stated that we were married in July after graduating from high school in May 1984, when I was 17 and Jim Bob was 19. 40 years later, the couple committed to protecting one another for the rest of their lives. Jim Bob is a former state legislator, having served in the Arkansas House of Representatives for. In addition to serving as vice chair of the House of Corrections and Criminal Law Subcommittee, he served in the 6th District from 1999 to 2002. His 2002 run for the U.S. Senate, and his 2006 bid to become the Republican nominee for Arkansas State Senate District 35 both failed in the primary. He and Michelle, both licensed realtors, have been involved in conservative causes, which has earned them 19 children from both ardent supporters and detractors. As of October 2024, they were grandparents of 33, with 3 on. In any case, Josh Duggar, the oldest of Duggar's children, was born on March 3, 1988, and he also became a conservative activist running for the Family Research Council. He resigned after old police records came to light in 2015, exposing that he had been accused of molesting multiple girls, including his sisters, Jessa and Jill Duggar, when he was a teenager. In a June interview with Fox News, Jessa defended her brother, stating that the most derogatory remarks made about him were completely untrue. His wife, Anna Duggar, whom he married in a ceremony featured on 19 Kids and Counting on September 26, 2008, also stood by him, even after he confessed to being unfaithful. His parents described his admission to a treatment center in 2016 as an essential first step in his recovery and healing. Following her honeymoon visit to Hawkeye State with her husband Stephen Wisman and his family last fall, the 19 Kids and Counting star shared a behind-the-scenes look at the camping trip. Jana started the March 19 YouTube vlog by saying, "It's actually kind of cute," describing the trailer with the brown accent her husband purchased for their vacation, adding, "Everything seems to be working." The 35-year-old then gave a tour of their travel home and disclosed that they were going to Old Threshes, an annual fall festival in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, to see Stephen and his brothers perform a few songs. However, that wasn't the only exciting aspect of the trip, as Jana disclosed that some of her relatives surprised her by accompanying her. After Stephen's rustic performance, the couple, who were married in August of last year, took in the festival's sights, tasting pickles and watching a few vintage tractors light up in a traditional fireworks display before retreating to their trailer for a warm campfire. The next day, the whole Wisman family performed an acoustic show before Stephen did another solo set. "My wife can tell you that Holding Jana's hand, Stephen, 31, said, "My favorite thing about Old Threshes is the food." They chose to go to the festival 2 weeks after being married in Arkansas. This is her first year at the festival. She's still learning. Although this was their first vacation together as a married couple, the Counting On star has previously shared a touching relationship milestone. Jana disclosed that she and Stephen had relocated to Nebraska about 2 months after their wedding, which she characterized as a significant departure from her Arkansas country origins. "I know my life is about to change in many ways, moving more to the city life," the oldest of the Dugg family's 19 children stated in her current YouTube video. Continue reading to view the complete Duggar family tree. Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar, parents of 19 children and grandparents to more than 3 dozen little children, began as kisses from high school. Michelle remembers being saved when she was 15. Then, one evening, while on a home outreach visit for his Baptist church, Jim Bob knocked on the door of the Rohr family after learning from a friend that a cheerleader and a girl from school had recently been saved. Jim Bob claimed to have prayed to God that they could serve as each other's spiritual mentors after inviting Michelle to their church's Sunday school. However, it seems that their initial encounter wasn't as Michelle finds it unforgettable. She applied for a job at Jim Bob's parents' frozen yogurt shop a year later. "I was standing behind the cash register when you approached the counter and said hello." In 2017, Michelle recalled in a letter for Jim Bob's birthday and their 33rd wedding anniversary that was posted on the family blog, "You were kind but shy. Other than the fact that you eventually plucked up the nerve to ask me if I would attend your junior-senior. I don't really remember much of the conversation. Join you for a banquet." She went to the meal with him at Shiloh Christian, but she didn't know him until they spent hours together at her parents' house talking about the Bible. "We feel like our hearts were stitched together from that point on." According to Michelle, "We got married in July after graduating from high school in May 1984. Jim Bob was 19 and I was 17. The pair committed to long-term protection of one another 40 years later. Jim Bob was a member of the Arkansas House of Representatives before becoming a state legislator. He served as the vice chair of the House of Corrections and Criminal Law Subcommittee, while representing the 6th District from 1999 to 2002. Both a 2002 U.S. Senate campaign and a 2006 attempt to win the Republican nomination for Arkansas State Senate District 35 were unsuccessful in the primary. Being engaged in conservative issues is a part of his and Michelle's lifestyle, which has earned them 19 children and drawn both ardent supporters and ardent detractors. They are both certified realtors. By October 2024 they will. "We have 33 grandchildren and 3 more on the way." Josh Duggar, the youngest of the Duggar family, was born on March 3, 1988. He also turned to conservatism and joined the Family Research Council's campaign, following the release of old police documents in 2015, which showed that he had been charged with abusing multiple girls as a teenager, including his sisters Jessa and Jill Duggar. He resigned. In an interview with Fox News that June, Jessa spoke up for her brother, claiming that the harshest insults people were using to describe Josh were such overboard with a falsehood. "Since I was one of the victims, I can say that even though many are upset with me for it, even after he confessed to being unfaithful, his wife, Anna Duggar, who he married in a ceremony that was shown on 19 Kids and Counting on September 26, 2008, remained devoted to him." His parents saw his admission to a treatment facility in 2016 as an essential first step toward his recovery and well-being. When the scandal began, the parents of 3 children, a daughter named Mackenzie and 2 sons, Michael and Marcus. On July 16, 2015, the day TLC canned 19 children, Anna gave birth to their 4th child, Meredith. Mason Garrett, their 5th child, was born on September 12, 2017. Baby number 7, Madison Lily, was born on October 23, 2021, and daughter Mariella Hope arrived on November 27, 2019. Josh was accused of receiving and possessing child pornography in a counterpiece of a federal indictment issued in April 2021. He entered not guilty pleas to both charges. Josh was convicted in 2022 of both and given a 12.5-year jail sentence. Jana Duggar and John David Duggar. Michelle became pregnant once more shortly after Josh was born, but she miscarried. She and Jim Bob learned that twins were on the way while they were still grieving that loss and asking God for wisdom. She told Love to Know, and we thought it was a double blessing. Our hearts were being encouraged by God. We have much to learn. My children are quite close to one another, which is incredibly strange given I milk them. After 8 months, I have a baby. I'm anticipating. The Lord has decided to do something out of the ordinary in our circumstances. On January 12, 1990, John David Duggar and his twin sister, Jana Duggar, were born. John David Duggar and Abba Grace Burnett were married on November 3, 2018, following a brief engagement and a frenzied relationship. On January 7, 2020, their daughter Grace Annette Duggar was born, and in September 2022, their son Charlie Duggar. January 2020, their 30th birthday. In a charming note, Jana wrote, "Ever. We've been asked since John and I were young if we have that twin thing, you know, the ability to feel or know what the other person is thinking. Well, John, I've always said no, but now I can honestly say that on the day little Gracie was born, I experienced every bit of your joy, so I suppose it must be genuine." Jana went on, "Watching you and Abby become parents is so adorable. You both have the same innate abilities that have made you a fantastic brother. I haven't always understood what the bigger picture is, but I know that God knows what is best for all of us, so for me, it's getting married later," Jana told People in August 2024, shortly after she fell in love with Stephen Wisman, whose sister Hannah Wisman is married to the TLC alum's brother Jeremiah. "It will also make you an amazing dad." Jill Duggar. Born on May 17, 1991, Jill Dill first met Derek on Christmas 2011, when he stopped by the Duggar family home while out caroling with his church group. Jim Bob acted as a matchmaker, and Jill and Derek clicked, becoming closer via Skype and email. That November, father and daughter traveled to visit Derek in Nepal. Each of our stories will be written differently. If we were all the same, it would be a boring Lee. Derek asked Jim Bob for his daughter's hand in marriage in February 2014, and the two married on June 21, 2014. They have 3 sons: Israel, born on April 6, 2015, Samuel, born on July 8, 2017, and Frederick, born on July 7, 2022. In April 2024, Jill revealed that she had lost her pregnancy while expecting her and Derek's first daughter, a girl. Jill and Derek discussed the religious beliefs and controversies surrounding her family. In the June 2023 premiere of the documentary Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets on Amazon Prime Video, Jessa Duggar, the 5th child of Jim Bob and Michelle, was born on November 4, 1992. She met Ben at church and he started dating her in 2013, which was a novel idea to many viewers. The children never discussed their romances before getting engaged, so Jim Bob explained to them that courting is getting to know each other in a group setting, the two families spending time together, and the couple establishing goals to see if marriage is in their future. When dating, a couple will frequently go out together alone, which might occasionally result in a more intimate connection. In August 2014, Ben asked for Jess's hand and then proposed, gripping her hand for the first time to seal the deal. On November 1, 2014, they were married. When 19 Kids and Counting was canceled, Jessa was expecting their first child, and TLC then broadcast a Jill and Jess's episode on sexual abuse will help viewers learn more about the topic. That winter, the sisters would become the stars of their own program, Jill and Jessa Counting On. After that, the program changed its name to Counting On, and started to include other Duggar siblings. In the meantime, Jessa and Ben received a daughter, Ivy Jane, on May 28, 2019, a son, Henry, on February 6, 2017, and a daughter, Fern, in July 2021. Their son, Spurgeon, was born on November 5, 2015. Jessa revealed in February 2023 that she miscarried during the 2022, the time of year for holidays. In December 2023, she gave birth to her son, George. Jessa announced the arrival of her 6th child on May 7, 2025. December 21, 1993, saw the birth of Jinger Duggar, Jinger Vualo, the sixth Duggar kid. In 2016, Jinger and Jeremy began dating after meeting while serving in a ministry in Laredo, Texas. Following their November 5, 2016, wedding, they were immediately the focus of pregnancy speculations. We envision ourselves in a year, most likely settling down, still serving the Lord and continuing our ministry here in Laredo. But in a June 2017 Counting On episode, Jinger stated, "We can." On July 19, 2018, their daughter Felicity was born. They disclosed that Jinger had miscarried the previous fall, and that she was pregnant once more in May of that year. Evangeline Jo, their daughter, was born in November 2020. On March 29, 2025, Finnegan Charles, a son, was born. Duggar, Joseph, number 7. January 20, 1995, was Joseph Duggar's birthday. At his sister Joanna's wedding in May 2017, Joseph took advantage of the romantic atmosphere to pop the question to Kendra. After courting for only a few months, Joseph told folks after popping the question, "I'm just waiting on you." Kendra said, "I was obviously apprehensive going into it, but I wasn't concerned that she was going to say no since she had said, 'I'm just waiting on you.' I'm both astonished and overjoyed. I want to say so many things, but I'm just surprised." Since then, they have revealed that their son Garrett was born in June 2018, Brooklyn was born in February 2021, and Addison was born in November 2019. In line 8th is Josiah Duggar. On August 28, 1996, Josiah Duggar was born. In March 2018, just a few months after his courtship of Lauren became public, the couple declared their engagement. He said in a statement that the location where I proposed to Lauren is the exact spot where her parents were engaged. In a video uploaded on the family's site, Michelle, her future mother-in-law, stated, "This property holds a lot of family history, making it a special place for Lauren. We love Lauren. She held up the sweet consolation prize." Jessa and Ben also offered congratulations and chocolate in the shape of an excess nose, saying, "I'm pretty sure you'll want to save your first kiss for your wedding day, but if you come over here, we'll give you." A previous courtship with Marjorie Jackson didn't work out, and they parted ways in the summer of 2015, but Josiah recalled to people in March 2016 that Marjorie and I had a good time together. She didn't think it was the right time, so we called it quits for a while. He and Lauren got married on June 30, 2018, telling everyone that their wedding day was perfect. On November 8, 2019, they welcomed a daughter named Bella Magro, which means miracle baby, after the couple disclosed that Lauren had miscarried in October 2018. They also welcomed a daughter named Daisy in 2022 and a son named Ezra in May 2023. Joanna Duggar's ninth sibling, Joanna Duggar, was born on October 28, 1997. She had known Austin for 15 years before he began courting her. They married on May 26, 2017, at Cross Church in Rogers, Arkansas. Joy and Austin welcomed a son, Gideon Martin Forsyth, on February 23, 2018, a daughter, Evelyn May Forsyth, on August 21, 2020, and a son, Gunnar James Forsyth, on May 17, 2023. Jediah Duggar and Jeremiah Duggar were also born.